Hi there, and thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to share with you the July 2022 housing market update for Durham region. And I will also provide you with a year-over-year comparison in order to give you a better perspective on what's happening in the overall housing market. I've also included some graphs and charts because just sometimes I find that visuals make it easier to follow along. So I hope that's really helpful. Now let's get straight into the July 2022 Durham Region Market Report. According to the Durham Region Association of Realtors, 700 transactions have been reported for the month of July 2022. If we compare these numbers to last month, the number of transactions has actually decreased by 27.6%. So this decrease shows that the market is continuing to move towards a balanced market. Higher borrowing costs continues to have an impact because it affects how many people can actually qualify to get into the market. And also, historically, July tends to be a little slower due to the increase in travel. And now that there are less restrictions on travel, more people are traveling overall. So that may very well be why there is a decrease in the number of transactions for the month of July. Now let's get into the number of new listings. So the number of new listings in Durham for the month of July was 1,461. So this was down 26.2% compared to last month's numbers of new listings. This decrease can actually work out to the seller's advantage because you're not really competing with a huge number of other sellers. Thus, this is the time to make your property shine and give your potential buyers a reason to come see your listed property. Now let's talk about the days on market. So the days on market has increased slightly to 15 days in July compared to 12 days in June. This increase of days on market can actually be due to the fact that buyers have more time to make a decision on the home that they purchase. Based on how the market was in the past, it was way more competitive and buyers had to move fast. So now that things have slowed down, buyers have time to actually go about doing that home inspection or seeing multiple property showings or fulfill other conditions that they may have instead of feeling pressure to make a decision quickly now that the market has slowed down. So this could be an explanation as to why houses are staying on the market for more days. Now let's get into the average selling price in Durham. So the average selling price in Durham was $969,424 in July. So there was a slight decrease of 7% compared to June. So this actually shows to be really beneficial for buyers as the sale prices are less competitive compared to previous months. Now that we've gone over the market update for July, let's take a look at that year-over-year comparison that I was talking about. If we look over here at my first chart, we will see that the average detached home in Durham region was selling for a little bit above $1 million in July of 2021. And as we move along the chart to July of this year, we will see that the house prices remained at a little above $970,000. So overall, we see that there has been a 3.7% decrease year over year. Now let's take a look at the semi-detached homes. So the average semi-detached house price in July of 2021 was sitting at a little bit above $770,000. And if we take a look here, from May to July, we can see that the prices for semi-detached homes were staying very steady and actually increased a bit in July. So I want you to pay close attention to this graph for the duration of May to July, because I'm going to explain what's really happening here with the steady pace of the home prices for semi-detached during these months and that slight increase. Once I go into the other graphs and show you what's happening there, it'll make more sense. So just keep this part of the graph in mind and we'll get right back into it. Now let's take a look at townhouses. So the average townhouse price in Durham region for the month of July in 2021 was sitting at a little bit above $630,000. And as we go along the chart to July of this year, the house prices for townhouses sit a little bit above $660,000. So on average, we see that there was a 4.8% increase year over year. And lastly, we're going to take a look at condos. So the average condo price in Durham for the month of July in 2021 was sitting a little bit above $460,000. And as we go along the chart to July of this year, we see that condo prices were at a little bit above $540,000. So on average, there was a 17 0.5% increased year over year. But there's something that I want us to pay attention to, and that is from the month of June to July. So for June of this year, we see that the average condo price was sitting at a little bit over $630,000. And then July of this year, we see that the average condo price was sitting at a little bit over 540,000. So as we can see here, that was a pretty drastic decline for a month. So it was actually almost $100,000 decrease in price. So that's pretty drastic. And this is what I wanted to explain. So when we were looking at the chart on semi-detached homes, we saw that from May to July, the semi-detached home prices were steady and actually increasing a bit in July. And now here for condos, we see that there was a drastic drop from June to July. So what's been happening here is that in the months of July and February, we all know that the housing prices were skyrocketing, right? They were really high. So it was really hard to get something that was affordable in terms of detached and semi-detached homes. So a lot of people, what they were doing was they were purchasing condos in order to get into the market because those were the home types that were the most affordable. Now that home prices are settling down and decreasing in prices, the option for people are broader. So now they're not only able to choose from purchasing condos, but they now can afford semi-detached homes as well. So the drastic shift here with condo prices can explain why that's happening, just because buyers now have more options in terms of what types of homes they can buy because the prices are now more affordable. So now let's take a look at the last graph, which is showing new listings, number of sales, and days on the market on a year-over-year period. So as we can see here, in July of this year, we actually have more listings in comparison to July of last year. Now let's take a look at the number of sales. So we can see here that in July of this year, there have been less sales in comparison to July of last year. And this could be due to the fact of higher borrowing cost. Now let's take a look at the days on the market. We can see here this year, the days on the market was higher in comparison to the days on the market of July last year. So what we can analyze based on the overall graphs is that the market is heading towards, as I mentioned before, more of a balanced market. This actually brings about great opportunities for buyers as the prices remain less competitive and are declining. Those that weren't able to get into the market once it was more competitive now have the chance to do so. So if you're in the market to purchase a home, I encourage you to reach out to your realtor, or if you would like to ask me questions, you can contact me based on my contact information on the description box below, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Or if you're thinking about selling and you're just unsure on what to do with this type of market, I'd be more than happy to share my thoughts on that with you as well, so that we can analyze your situation, so that we can decide what the best fit for you would be. I hope this video was helpful at outlining what's been happening in the July 2022 market. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.